friends! Welcome back to the Aesthetic Art series. The aesthetic today will be... Vampire! Trigger warning for fake blood. This aesthetic is known as both Vampire and Vampirecore online. To avoid confusion, since I will be talking about both the mythological being and the aesthetic, I will refer to the aesthetic as Vampirecore and the being as a vampire. Vampires are a being from folklore that is undead and feeds on the vitality of the living, usually in the form of blood. Vampires take different forms in many cultures, and most of the aesthetic inspiration for Vampirecore comes from European and colonized American vampire folklore. Vampires have a long history which I can only summarize here. The vampire as we see them in Western culture today comes from Eastern European folklore, popularized by classic Gothic literature like Bram Stoker's Dracula. From there, Dracula and other vampires were reimagined through decades of media. While vampire lore has changed a lot over the years and varies wildly from story to story, some common tropes include the fact that vampires cannot go in sunlight, are shunned by crucifixes, garlic, and silver, crumble to ash in the sun, or possibly sparkle, can be killed by a stake to the heart, sleep in a coffin, and can turn into a bat. Also, they have fanged teeth and drain blood out of humans to stay alive. If you want to learn more about the history of vampires in both media and folklore, I have linked a few videos that I watched and loved in the description. Since vampires are a well-known mythological being that has been reimagined in media for decades, there is a lot of vampire media available for reading or watching. If you are interested in vampires or the Vampirecore aesthetic, there is a long list of books, movies, TV shows, and games on the aesthetic wiki, linked in the description. Most of this media is fairly modern, but I do recommend reading the OG vampire novel, Dracula. It is a classic novel from over 100 years ago, so some elements have not aged well, but the way the story is written with the intensity slowly building is very interesting. It's written as a series of journal entries, newspaper articles, and letters that reveal the slowly unfolding horror story. Vampirecore visuals are inspired by both modern vampire media and Victorian Gothic aesthetics. Visuals include bats, blood, especially bloody fangs or teeth, lips, and hands, fanged mouths, and glasses with red liquids inside. Other visuals include images relating to nighttime, oil paintings, Gothic castles and their contents, and other dramatic and antique imagery. Vampirecore fashion is very historical and dark. It is influenced most by the Victorian period, but also the 17th and 18th centuries. The idea is that vampires dress in the clothing that was fashionable when they were turned into vampires. The color palette of this aesthetic is dark red, black, and grey. Specific clothing include historical shirts with ruffled collars, waistcoats, long coats, cloaks, gloves, boots, especially heeled boots, stockings, fancy vintage hats, fishnets, and pale makeup with dark eyes and lips. Lace, velvet, and other luxury fabric are peak aesthetic. A bonus to this aesthetic is to wear fangs. Vampire fashion is historical, dark, elegant, and somewhat outside of time. I gave this Vampirecore character a mix of historical and the elegant side of the Vampirecore aesthetic. She has a dark grey historical shirt under a red Victorian waistcoat, with a cravat at the neck decorated with a large red jewel. Her skirt is more modern, a black maxi skirt with a high slit that reveals fishnet stockings and short-heeled boots. She has coffin-shaped earrings, long red nails, and dark red shiny lipstick. In one hand she holds a wine glass full of red liquid that definitely isn't blood. Some of that liquid has stained her mouth. I wasn't sure at first what to do with this character's hair. I tried both styles with bangs and slicked back styles, before settling on this classic goth haircut with V-shaped bangs and long straight hair. I tried a new method to shade the hair to make it look very shiny. I've seen other artists create highlights of this shape, and I think it worked really well. Her white fangs are fake, and her red eyes are red from wearing contact lenses. I really like how this character turned out. I think she looks elegant and timeless and dangerous. She isn't an actual vampire, but embodies the vibes of vampires and the Vampirecore aesthetic. As you might be able to gather, I am a fan of Vampirecore and of vampires. I had a lot of fun researching and drawing this aesthetic, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did like this video, please consider liking it and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon with another video. Until then, bye! Other visuals... Was that necessary?